Hi, homeschool moms. Welcome to the Homeschool Well podcast. I am Kim Godfrey. Today, we're continuing to share gems and golden nuggets from our pre recorded workshop that is in our membership for all of our community members to access anytime they want, 24/7. It's called Homeschooling Made Easy, Simple Strategies for Everyday Success. And Jenny's here with us as well.
Hi, hope everyone is doing well. Last week we talked about a mission and a vision and how to set that mindset in your homeschool so that you can all be on the same page with your family and set your year up for success. This week we're just getting concrete. We're going to talk about plan books and how to use all different types of plan books in your homeschool. We're going to go over a whole bunch of ideas that maybe you've never thought of before. And if you need help planning in any way, that is something that we offer. We offer consultations. We have a membership that you can join for ongoing help if you need extra support in any way in this area.
Okay, on with the topic for the day. We are talking about plan books so you can keep track every day. You know exactly where you're going to put what you are doing, even if it's not required. Like in the state of Florida, we are required as homeschoolers registered with our school districts to keep plans on a daily basis. It doesn't have to be planned ahead by law, but you have to every day write down somewhere what you did.
Right.
Yes, we encourage you. You need to use something, not nothing.
Yes.
Like if you think, oh, I'll be fine, I'll figure it out at the end of the week, or you kind of have them on sticky notes laying all around your house or index cards or something. We don't encourage that.
We all know how that goes.
Yes. It's like, no, you want to have your plan book ready. You want it to be at hand's reach. You want to know when you wake up in the morning where you're going to put what you're doing, or maybe you already planned it and it's in there and you want to just be able to grab it or open the web page or log in or whatever you do. Let's start with the first kind. I think we have maybe 7 or 8 different kinds of plan books that you can keep. Some of them we have used and some of them we have not used, but we've seen them in our many evaluations that we've done. So
Mhm.
that is another such a blessing for us to be able to do all these evaluations and see all the different ways that moms and dads keep track of things and
Mhm.
do their homeschool. So we'll try to glean some of that knowledge to you as well. All right, but the first one would be an online planner. Jenny and I both used an online planner at some point in our homeschool teaching career. And I got to say, I think every year we changed the kind of plan book that we used.
Yeah, I didn't use the same thing every year, but I loved that Simply Charlotte Mason one. It was so easy since we were using all of that curriculum anyway. That was great. You would just plug it in and it would just like automate, right? It
Yeah,
was a
it was
long time
awesome.
ago. I think we had to put the books in and when we wanted to use them, and then it would
Yeah.
just pop up like, here you go.
Yep. And so she's talking about the Simply Charlotte Mason online organizer. I think that's the
Hmm.
official name of it. We can
Yeah.
put a link in the podcast notes and we've talked about it before. Yeah, at the beginning of the year, it's a little bit data entry heavy because, like she said,
Yes.
you have to put all your books in and everything, but it's so worth it. You log into your account. Everything is digital. You can access it on your phone. You can
Hmm.
print reports out, grades, attendance. If you put in there like a topic, social studies or whatever, it can print out all the things you did.
Yeah.
Uh, we also know that there's a couple other online planners that moms use nowadays that are big, and one of them is the Homeschool Planet, right?
Yeah, that one's amazing. It's the same thing. You enter all the different types of curriculum and everything you want to use at the beginning of the year, and then you just go. It just tells you what you're doing every day. So if you use definite set curriculum, like where you're going day by day, it's amazing. And if you're sick or you want to take a vacation, it's easy to push something a week ahead or change the dates and it shifts everything. So, versus like
So
having to use
nice.
an Excel sheet or something where you're having to
Yeah.
like move everything. Those things are really worth it, especially if you're not making up your own stuff you're doing every day, if you're using an actual curriculum, an actual book. But it does take a lot of time again on on the front side to set it up.
But I mean, at the beginning of the year, it's just part of the process,
That's
right?
right. It's a lot of work,
Yeah.
anything you do.
And another platform that I don't know too much about, but we just started using it for our business. But Jenny, you said you saw a mom who's used it, is Trello, Trello.
We saw a mom in our membership use it. It's a project management board, and she was using that to write down the things that her kids needed to do for the day.
So there's a few
Hmm.
different online organizers. There's probably more out there. Just do a Google search, online
Hmm.
homeschool organizers.
Yeah.
All right. And the next thing would be your device calendar. And I'm really talking
Yes.
about your smartphone, your iPad. Go in there. We've seen moms type it by the hour, or they just type a long list in a note. They put like their different kids' homeschool schedule, Wyatt. And then in the notes, they put the things that they did. And then Anastasia would be at the next to her in the same time and the notes that they did. So device calendars, they're already set up for that. And then when you go to share these online and digital things, you can just take screenshots. So for us in Florida, we have to do the portfolio reviews at the end of the year or some kind of evaluation. And if they have digital things, it's super easy to share by just taking a screenshot of that element that's on the device.
Yeah. Super easy. Did you ever do that? I never really actually did that one. I thought you did
Using a
maybe though.
device calendar,
Yeah.
yeah, I feel like I did partially. Like,
Hmm.
and it's good when you go out and about and you just naturally put things like field trips and library events in your calendar. And
Hmm.
so I would go back and maybe if I was doing the online or if, when I made my paper books, I would then, copy it into the thing.
Yeah. I thought I remembered you doing a lot on your phone.
This would be cave woman style, the next one.
Yeah, the next one is just keeping a spiral. And there were some years that I did this. Like I would just write down at the beginning of the day what my kids were going to do that day. It was the next page in a book, or I would say, oh, we're skipping that page. We're doing the next one. I would literally write it in a 99-cent spiral, maybe
Yep.
49-cent spiral. I was using the really cheap ones. And then put a little box next to it and say, I think this was when they were older. Like, what do you want to do first? What do you want to do next? I don't care what order you do it in. Just check it off as you go so I can see what you did. And I would write their chores for that day at the bottom. And took me 5 minutes for two kids, like super easy.
Even if your kids don't access it, if it's just for you, if it's your teacher plan book,
Sure.
that is a very valid way of doing it, is
Or,
just putting the date on a page and writing down some things
yeah,
that
or
you did that
even at
day.
the end of the day, just writing down what you did for the day. Like
Yeah.
if you are more of a fly by the seat of your pants kind of girl, it's just keeping what you did, just jot it all down at the end of the day. It could be a writing assignment for your kids. Help, you, Mr. Third Grader, help me write this down at the end of the day, what we did. So it's just a great way to keep track and remember.
The next one would be paper planning books. When you go into the Dollar Tree and Target and Walmart in July and September and they sell teacher plan books, just get one of those. I'm sure many of you have them. The
Mhm.
pre-made ones are great. You can go online and get homeschool mom specific. Is it like well-trained mind or
Yeah. Or
well-ordered
Etsy. I mean,
homeschool?
there's
Oh,
like
Etsy,
beautiful ones on
right?
Etsy. Yeah.
And then dialing that down to a little bit more customizable, you can do DIY paper plan books. And I did that a couple of years. I got so fancy with like my cover was like something that the kids drew during an art study. It was very customized. I had the covers laminated at Staples and then I printed out custom worksheets. I mean, it was an intense endeavor, but I loved it. Like all the sections were customized, to my kids and what we were going to do, and they were templates and repeatable. So I would still write in there every day. I gave all of those digital copies to Staples, and I said I need 20 of each and bind it and. That was it. I did that 2 years, and I'm never throwing those away because that's like
So
a
much work for
labor
you.
of love. It was, when people scrapbook and journal and things like
Sure.
that. Yeah, but very special.
That's awesome. And
Yeah.
my DIY for a couple years was so bland compared to yours. I was just doing like a Google sheet and I inserted a chart in it and it was like, like, here's what we're doing all these days. And I would just insert stuff and print it
Amazing.
out for them.
I
But
cannot do
it
that.
was so boring compared to your beautiful one, but that
Yeah, but
was
it's
my
so
DIY.
we're just different like that. It's
I
very
know.
detailed, digitally orientated. And that's our next point, because Google Sheets is the same thing as Excel and spreadsheets, right? Yeah.
Google Sheets and
Google
Excel.
Sheets.
Yes.
Yeah.
I use the free version.
Okay. The free version. Good. Those, I have many homeschool moms that I just sit there with my mouth dropped, like, you are amazing with these Excel sheets. I can't even comprehend. But they're like, oh, it's so easy for me. I just go in there every day and I move, I write things, I
Copy
copy and paste,
paste.
or
Yep.
yeah, copy paste, or I move it
Yeah.
over. I'm like, okay, that's amazing. So spreadsheets, Google Sheets, Excel, those are great ways to keep track and have a plan book. Also, we've had moms and dads who do whiteboards, and I'm talking any age. I've had this one mom, I've told her she could sell her plans on Etsy. It's a great name, the Sons and Daughters of Yahweh. And I mean, her stuff is just amazing. She makes up all of this stuff for her kids in their curriculum, but she literally keeps it on whiteboards. Like every day they go out and they look at the whiteboard and what the plans are on it. And when it came time for her evaluation, she sent me pictures of her whiteboards. But also for your kids, that's a really great way for them. She has 3 kids and they know exactly where to find it. It's like they go up to the board every morning and find out what they're going to do.
That's cute.
So, yeah, that's really neat. And it keeps everybody on the same page. The other kind is pretty out of the box here with Facebook, like social media stuff. And this doesn't have to be public pages, but Facebook, Instagram accounts, YouTube. If you do like to make videos, pictures, there's one mom that we know, she always posts like the day on her Facebook feed, and hers, she just goes out to all of her friends, gets to see what they're doing in their homeschool. But as an
That's
evaluator,
cool.
I can use that too. So
hmm
like it'll say day 80, and she writes a little bit of what they did, and then there's pictures or videos of the thing that they did. I mean, does she do that every day when they're just doing, book assignments? No, but when they do some really cool interactive things that are not going to be documented on paper,
hmm
right? That's an excellent way to keep track. And again, it doesn't have to be public, it can just be private. You can have a private YouTube page, and it's just all the little videos that you might put in there to keep track of your plans. It's really impactful to your kids and to you to show all the things you do beyond the books, beyond the 4 walls. You know, life is learning, and I hate when moms feel like they tell me, we didn't get to do a lot of this book work because we did these educational experiences. Like we took this boat tour and learned about dolphins and swam with them. And I'm like, hello, what you just did is so awesome and
Right.
educational. Don't come home and feel like you have to go open up your science book, and do some sciencey book work, because you just did school and it was awesome. And so
Right.
just take a picture, make a video, boom, that's your plan book for the day.
Right.
But if you find a planner that you like, that's a worksheet, one, let's say it's a week long, 30, 32 copies for one per week, you can just put it in a binder, punch, 3-hole punch, blam, put it in a binder, and that's your planning book.
Yeah. Any calendar, any type of
Yeah, this is the last point on the slide. It says the free wall hanging calendar that you got from your realtor in the mail.
yeah, that's in our presentation. That's totally you, Kim. I
Well,
didn't put that in there. I
I
love it.
don't even use this realtor, but she always every year sends out this gorgeous, it's like photographs of the beach calendar that you can hang on the wall with her little information. If you ever need a realtor, here's my contact info and her picture and stuff. And I'm like, I'm not throwing this away. First of all, I love the pictures. And second of all, I could always use a calendar.
That's funny.
And you might
Yeah.
use something like that for a specific topic. Like if your
Mhm.
kid needs to see what they're supposed to read every day, and that could be like just their reading calendar,
Oh, yeah, that's a good
or
idea.
maybe they write down what they read every day on that calendar. So hold on to those things, because you never know when you might need an extra little plan book.
Right.
The bottom line is you want to keep your records of what you do every day, because it will help you. And like we said, in the state of Florida, it is a legal requirement. It might not be in your state, but it'll help your brain, Mom.
Oh,
Trust
yes,
us
for
for
sure.
sure. Don't go searching around. Your plans, your homeschool plans are not like a treasure hunt. No. You got sticky notes you think of in the middle of the night on your lamp and in your car while you're driving, you think of ideas. Just gather the sticky notes and put them where they need to be, some centralized location. Okay? All right. So that is it for all the different kind of plan books that we can think of. If you have any others, let us know. Email us and we'll share it with everyone. We have a Facebook group, encouragement for Christian homeschool moms. And we do invite you to join our online community at thehomeschoolwell.com. We meet every week with our homeschool moms to help with any issues that they have, if they just want to vent or have prayer over them. And we have in that membership a private forum where everyone can post to each other. And we have one on one or group direct messaging. And that's a wonderful asset in there to get extra help from us too. Like we have one mom who loves to send us videos of her kid like reading or working on math or something. And like, look, she's doing so well, or like, look, I need help with this. What do I do? So, not necessarily jumping on a call, but using that direct message platform is very valuable. We just want to make the point we don't want you to homeschool alone. We are here to help you. Get with us if you need it at thehomeschoolwell.com. And tune in next week. We have another point about building this strong foundation in your homeschool. We're going to be talking about organizing all your stuff. You got stuff, you know where to put it. It deserves to be not in that giant pile in the living room, but a little bit organized, right? So we have some ideas that we'll give you next week on our podcast. And until then, thanks for joining us, and we will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye bye. Have a great day.